Well, after spending time in the woods getting high and telling the truth and whatnot, of course, Princess Kit and Willow ended up getting kidnapped by trolls. No, not anonymous internet people. These are, the hairy kind. They kind of look like, I don't know, blonde Sasquatches or something. So they took them away, and of course, everybody left as we got to go in there and save them. Turns out Borman has been in their lair once before, back when he was teamed up with Mad Mardigan on their mission to find that magic armor and all that stuff. So he kind of sort of knows his way around. So him and his kind of sort of girlfriend, who turns out to be Jade's sister, that was the big reveal last episode. Oh. And so she caused her to have a little fight with Kit, and now Kit's been captured. Oh no. You don't want that to be your last. Well, they almost kissed and made up, but the trolls, being trolls. And, of course, Elora, yeah, she's along for the ride. And her secret admirer, Flash Thompson. So, they show up at the well, I don't know what to call it, the underground lair, or the city of the trolls, I guess. And some of the CGI, of course, I'm very, very kind to CGI, even when it's really bad. I sat through a lot of CW shows. So for all intents and purposes, it looks pretty good. And it a little weak on some of the framing of where the actual sets that they were using, so that the background would look like, this long, big, giant underground city and all that. But good enough. That's not the problem with the show. It's the plot, the story, the acting. Yeah. Well, some of the actors try, but, But again, could you do your best job on this crap? Probably not, So anyway, Willow and Kit are put in these hanging cages, and there's a mysterious man with an eye patch sitting there, and he's telling them, abandon all hope. I've been stuck here for 10 years. Oh, who are you? And he says he's Mad Mardigan. Well, it's not Mad Mardigan, it's Christian Slater, who turns out to be Allagash. Some old buddy of Mad Mardigan who may or may not have betrayed him, but he says Borman may or may not have. Well, he says Borman's the one who betrayed him. Borman says, no, he's the well, whatever. And they were with Mad Mardigan when he disappeared and all that. So there you go. There's that story. He explains why he took on the name. It was some scheme he did with the trolls, but it ended up getting him stuck in a cage for 10 years. I don't know what the trolls wanted him for. I guess we're better off not knowing. Oh, yeah, the trolls. So, you think they're all these monsters and they're working for the Crone and all this stuff. And they come in, and then their dialogue is like, oh, hi, we're the trolls, and you're our prisoners, and we need to know your secrets about Elora Danan so that we can report back to the Crone, all right? That's how they present it, because it's silly. See, you're supposed to laugh at that. Yeah. There was silliness and comedy in the original film, but it was actually silly and funny. And it was to a minimum. You didn't want to kick anybody out of the film. This show doesn't even try to draw you in. So, well, all right. She-Hulk still holds the title for being a show that disrespects itself and its audience and everything else, and just laughs at itself. And so that's a title all to its own. So Willow's not quite there. He's almost, but not quite. So anyway, the rescue team comes, and they have to walk through the trolls' sewer line, so they're walking in poo. Tee-hee. Troll poo. And then they split up, of course, and there's fights with the trolls, which aren't all that impressive in fights. Which the Christian Slater guy, who's been stuck there for 10 years, and the cage didn't look all that, strong. So he could have left anytime he wanted to, because they're pathetic. Everyone is pathetic, no matter how big or how super powerful they are with supernatural powers and all that sort of stuff when these little teenage girls just slice them in half with their broadswords. You know, it's pretty stupid. So anyway, of course they have the rescue, and Elora loses the wand because she's trying to save Jade, and well, she does, but the wand falls, and she's like, "Oh no, Willow's gonna kill me," and Willow's all upset with her when he finds out. But don't worry, they get it back. He manages to find his staff, which is also magic, but just not as good, I guess. And they make it through this secret door, but Christian Slater has to close it behind him so that he can fight off the... Oh, wait, I'm jumping ahead. They find the secret door, and they find the super duper treasure, and there's all this gold and stuff in there. And, oh boy, the magic armor. And Christian Slater puts it on. Him and Borman fight over it, but he gets it. And then the trolls come in, and they have to fight them. And Christian Slater is figuring he's invulnerable because of the armor. And but he gets stabbed, so I guess it wasn't so magical. Of course, Borman suggested because he's an a-hole, it probably didn't work for him or some such. Yeah. So meanwhile, Kit finds Mad Mardigan, her father's sword, inside the room of treasure, and starts hearing his voice, which obviously, due to the sad circumstances of Val Kilmer's condition, it's not his voice. But after seeing his documentary on Amazon, where his son narrated his script because he can't speak, his son sounds just like him. So I don't know. I didn't really check the credits. I'm kind of wondering if, hey, did his son do the lines here? Maybe he did. He's, I guess, in another dimension or in a portal somewhere, or he's a ghost. I don't know, but Elora interrupts it, and Jade comes in, and they take her out because the cave is collapsing, and they have to get out. And fight with trolls, and then that's when Christian Slater sacrifices himself, even though he probably was an a-hole, but he's got to make up for it, and everybody else escapes. And then Kit is all mad at Elora. And it turns out Kit, well, guess what? She's mad at Daddy because she thinks Daddy, never mind about her brother, but that Daddy really loved Elora as his daughter more than his own daughter. It's quite a leap. I mean, the message from him was that he had to help Elora, because she's the salvation of the land in the future. She's going to become the greatest sorceress who ever lived and all that sort of thing. So that's all he's saying. Everybody else says it, but Kit's got to have her moment because, again, she's a mad at daddy princess bitch. And cusses out Elora, and Elora's all quivering, about to cry and stuff. And then the floor opens up and swallows Kit. Now, let me explain this. So they escape the trolls, and they go down this underground passageway, and they see a light at the end of the tunnel on the way out. But the problem is, it's all like a sea of molten lava and stuff. And they're like, how do we get across this? And then Willow just starts walking across it. It's just a floor. It's all glowy and looks like molten lava, but I guess it's just decoration, And, but why would the floor open? Elora was trembling, and her magic powers, which she can't control, I guess, shook the earth, and a crack formed like it's ice, and she fell through the ice, and there's all water underneath this, whatever it is, amber or something, I don't know. And then it reseals up, so Kit's stuck under the water. I guess it's water. Maybe that's where the troll piss went. Anyway, she's trying to get back out, but what's she going to do? She can't burst through the solid thing. So Willow tries to use his staff to break it open, and it's not working because he's useless, even though the show's named after him. So Elora backs up all upset, and then, she steps on something. Well, it's the one she dropped. So this is where it ended up. What are the odds? And she starts, giving off her magic words, trying to open up the floor so they can get Kit back out, and it goes to black. Oh, will she succeed? Well, yes, but leave it as a cliffhanger. Meanwhile, hey, what's going on with the other child of Mad Mardigan and Sorsha. Oh, well, Eric is trapped in the ruins of some ancient city. And he's sitting there. And I tell you, I don't know who this kid is, but he does look like he is convincingly, like, could be Val Kilmer's son. And he's dressed up in an outfit that kind of looks like something Jim Morrison would have wore. And, of course, Val Kilmer played Jim Morrison in The Doors. So, that's right. This episode ends on the end. No, it doesn't. It does end on a song, in the actual song, too. So he escapes from the ruins in the hopes that he can find his way back home. And he wanders through the desert and then finds himself right back at the ruin. So there's no escaping it. It's some magic city, you know. But as he comes back into it, he finds a mysterious girl who's seemingly waiting for him. And that's when we hear the tune of Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys. Yeah. And by the Beach Boys, unless they're really good at mimicking the Beach Boys. But there you go, because nothing tells you sword and sorcery fantasy like the music of the Beach Boys. Good vibrations. So anyway, they're back to that. It's like the guy who had to score the show series is probably like, why am I even here? But then that's what everybody is asking on that show. So yeah, the fourth episode remains the best out of this batch, which isn't saying much, but with only 2 more episodes left, which is the good news, there's no chance this thing is gonna salvage itself in any form or fashion. It's, I mean, right off the bat, there's a reason why the reviewing dropped off after the first episode, because it's so incredibly stupid. And so it's just like, well, if you're gonna start it off that bad, who cares if there's an episode that gets better? You know. So anyway, there you are, Willow. He was there. But, you know, he could have just napped through the whole episode. It wouldn't have mattered. And they ran around the troll city, which was kind of interesting. But the trolls themselves were just pathetic. And boy, they did get beheaded in a couple of scenes. I was kind of surprised. I mean, they don't show the actual beheading, but you do see the head rolling on the ground and that kind of thing. I was like, oh, I thought Disney wasn't supposed to do stuff like that. But, you know. But then again, you know, Mandalorian did beheaded some guy. So... yeah, every now and then somebody loses their head. Just like the audience loses all hope for it. All right, there you go. Prisoners of Skellin. Oh, yeah, Skellin was the name of their city, I think. The troll city. So there you go. But they're not prisoners of it anymore. Well, that's it. Boy, can't wait for next week, huh? Yeah.